You're lost too. I've seen this before. You don't remember anything, do you? Go into the fog. See what's out there. Your memories will guide you.
The first Into the Radius started life very differently to what it is today, and that's mostly due to player feedback and the developers implementing cool ideas, but they've also been aware of the community's love for the game. And after much feedback, they also brought the game to Quest, which many thought was impossible, but I personally feel they did an outstanding job and now have it enhanced for Quest 3. It's been really impressive to watch Into the Radius go from what it was to what it is today, and yesterday the developers dropped a brand new gameplay trailer, and I gotta say, it's got me hyped. So after watching this, I figured we could do a quick overview of what to expect from Into the Radius 2. Now, to be clear, you can go and read all this on their website and devlogs, but I've basically grabbed all the best bits. And it's clear their approach is to significantly evolve what explorers liked about the first game, preserving what made the original special while upgrading its most important gameplay aspects. Now, one thing they definitely want to be clear on is that Into the Radius 2 is meant to be a fully fledged single player experience, but with the option to open it up to 4-player co-op. Now, co-op mode will have a separate save file from single player with no cross progression between the two game modes, and friendly fire is on by default, which will definitely make online all the more interesting. The game will use proximity chat at short distances and special walkie-talkies for communication at long distances. The new story will also be entirely separate and unfolds after the events of the original game. Our new hero, a different explorer, will have to tread a similar path but in new locations and face greater consequences. It's clear from the gameplay trailer and from the in-game screenshots they've already shown, they are definitely upping the game's visual quality in almost every way. The environments will still look the same as what we know and love already in the original game, and the gameplay in these locations will remain the same for most part. But the player will be affected by various new factors, which the developers will share more on as the game progresses. Now, the guns obviously are a massive part of the first game, but there will be fewer guns than before. However, every single gun this time has been developed from scratch with high attention to detail, additional animations, sounds, and new customization options. Equipment management is also being upgraded as well. The new loadout system includes new tactical vests and backpacks. This in turn will let you choose a configuration that better fits your playstyle. At the base, explorers can expect new options for storing and upgrading equipment. And of course, weapon cleaning, which for me is one of the best bits of Into the Radius, is still going to be part of Into the Radius 2. There's something really special about cleaning weapons in this game. You never really forget the first time you clean your first pistol. There's also new loot in the game and will be a vital part of the sequel. In the first game, the loot structure consisted of disposable loot and respawnable loot. The current structure is going to stay by the looks of it, but several features are, to me at least, being upgraded for the better, thanks to again player feedback and in-game player habits. Players love finding new weapons while they're in the Radius, and they enjoy searching for and collecting small items, but as we all know, picking up single bullets isn't fun, and personally I wholeheartedly agree. The first time I ever played this game back in 2018, I found it slow and cumbersome, and I felt like I spent more time worrying and being careful than actually enjoying it, so this news is pretty welcoming to me. Now, what they are saying is you won't find progressional weapons while in the Radius. Instead, they are choosing progression style unlocks, which is similar to what they have now. They want players to do missions and gradually unlock new equipment, starting with simpler weapons, trying different gear, making choices at every stage, and feel the satisfaction of unlocking and buying new equipment. However, you can still find weapons while in the Radius. Common civilian weapons such as double-barrel shotguns, pistols, World War II weapons will be encountered quite often, but firearms with built-in modifications and enhancements will be rarely found and only in hard-to-reach stashes. There will also be a new category of weapon currently called the Forgotten, but this may change nearer the release. These Forgotten weapons have been lying in the Radius for a long time and have been partially corrupted by it. The corruption is reflective visually, and the gun will feature downgraded mechanics. When it comes to looting, the scattered loot will be significantly reduced to avoid repeatedly taking off the backpack for lone cigarettes and toothbrushes. And again, I think this is pretty cool. Instead of just trying to pick up everything, the only things you're going to be really picking up by the looks of it are things of value. Rooms will more often than not contain crates. There's going to be 3 types: a crate with medicinal supplies, one with weapons, and one with ammo. There is also going to be a new type of loot which will also be added, and it's called currently Ash, and it can be found anywhere under a table, on the ceiling, on trees, and on rocks. It makes a faint sound to make it detectable, and when you pick it up it crumbles and is absorbed into a special device on the character's glove. And when you go back to your base in the shop's computer, there's going to be a special receiver where you can basically cash in all the ash you've collected in exchange for money, and it can be used to modify artifacts. Now when it comes to one of my favourite things, which is the enemies in the game, they are being upgraded in terms of mechanics and appearance. The mimics, which are humanoid creations of the Radius, they imitate the behaviour of military personnel patrolling areas, taking cover and positions, working as a team, relaying information to their comrades. And as you can see from the trailer, they aren't just dark silhouettes, but strange creatures created by the Radius in the image of humans, each with unique appearances. Now personally, I'm really looking forward to this. Even though back in like 2020 or 2021 it was pretty cool to see these weird shadowy creatures running around, I think the idea of more realistic mimics is a really good idea. Then we also have monsters. These are a variety of different creations of the Radius. They don't work as a team or take cover, but each has its own unique behaviour. And last but not least, I quickly wanted to touch on the anomalies. In the first one, and they have stated this themselves, they didn't really leave a lasting impression. In Into the Radius 2, they're trying to make anomalies feel more materialistic. And that's basically all I've got time for today, and I feel like I've gone over everything that really matters for Into the Radius 2, but I'm pretty certain there's going to be a lot more news coming up as the game progresses. Thank you ever so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you hyped for Into the Radius 2? Personally, I am. I've been following this game for such a long time, and I'm really excited to see what this becomes. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.